When you play the Game of Thrones, you
Subscribe and like.
or you die. There is no middle ground.
Alright, hello YouTube, welcome back to the Grease Common YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how will Young Griff kind of be figured out? How is his real identity of being a Blackfire be revealed to Daenerys? So again, if you guys are not sure who actually Aegon is within the normal A Song of Ice and Fire story, he is said to be the child of Rhaegar and Elia, and it's said that Varys switches them, but I have a whole video talking about how I don't believe that's true. I think that Aegon's just a Blackfire, so I would strongly recommend watching those videos before watching this video. But getting into this video, the big question is going to be, how is Dany going to find out, besides kind of the prophecy where it's kind of like the Mummer's Dragon thing, how is Daenerys really going to figure out that Young Griff isn't actually who he says he is? But before we get into the video, if you guys like to like, subscribe, and comment, please do. It helps the channel grow, reach our people that might like this content as well. And let's get into the video. So, on the face value of it, when you really think about it, how is Daenerys going to get some hard evidence or something along those lines to prove that Aegon isn't a Blackfire or isn't a Targaryen? Now, I'm not sure if she's actually going to get hard proof, but I think what's going to end up happening is Illyrio may end up having another encounter with Daenerys. And I think that may be how Daenerys figures this out, right? She realizes, okay, there's this Targaryen kid that's been invading Westeros, maybe hearing that in the next book, and then having this conversation with Illyrio, maybe she has to, like, imprison him or something, until he kind of reveals that, yeah, he's not actually a Targaryen, he's a Blackfire. I'm not sure how realistic that is, but I think there has to be some way other than the idea of, oh, it's just a Mummer's Dragon thing that we get with Quaithe. It has to be something else besides that, because Daenerys, I think, is going to want to believe that Aegon is a Targaryen just based on the fact that this would be her family, right? She would have somebody alive still in her family, so I think it's not going to be a situation where she's instantly thinking this person's not real. I think it's going to be something where she wants it to be true, but then all of these warning signs, it's kind of like, think about it like this, right? If you are looking for a partner and you kind of ignore some of their red flags at the beginning because you want it so badly to work, that's kind of what I think is going to happen at the start. I think Daenerys is going to try and want this to be an actual Targaryen, but upon, news and reflection, and maybe we see Quaithe again, giving her this reminder that, hey, there's gonna be a Mummer's Dragon and something like that, and then alongside of maybe having a conversation with Illyrio and getting in deeper with what was going on there, and just asking some questions. A lot of the questions that we ask when we go into the theory of, is Aegon a Blackfire, is a lot of the odd things going on. The Golden Company, right? Why would they follow a Targaryen when they are Blackfires? Are they at least founded by kind of Blackfires? Why does Young Griff get all this special treatment that neither Daenerys or Viserys got really from Varys or Illyrio? So it's a lot of those things that I think Daenerys will herself start to question in the later half of the book. I think this is definitely going to be something that's Dany's dealing with towards the end of the book, maybe even the start, because again, I think Daenerys has got a lot more going on in Essos before she can leave, and then maybe as she's leaving, she stops in Pentos or something like that, and then that's kind of how that all gets revealed. But if you guys have some other way that you think Aegon's true identity could be revealed, let me know, because it could also always be through Varys, but at this point, I'm not sure why Varys would be like anywhere near Daenerys at this point. Varys has kind of put all of his marbles with Aegon, in my opinion, at this point. So I'm not sure what's going to come of that, but to me, I think if it's going to be revealed and there's going to be some hard proof for Daenerys, it's going to have to be through probably Illyrio. Because Tyrion is someone that's met Aegon and he thought he was actually a Targaryen. So it's going to be one of those scenarios where I don't think they're going to be thinking he's a Blackfire. I think Daenerys, saying, questioning Tyrion on what he, made of Aegon when he met him, I think Tyrion isn't going to be able to think, oh yeah, this kid was a Blackfire, right? I think it's going to be one of those situations where something has to occur in the story to push them in that direction, whether that's another meeting from Quaithe, whether that's Illyrio, whether that's some trace of evidence that is left behind by Illyrio for this. Maybe it's one of Aegon's companions kind of starts to not like the cause, goes to Daenerys, and actually reveals the truth of his birth. I'm not sure how many people I would actually know the truth of it, because I don't think it's something Illyrio or Varys would tell to a lot of people, which is something that I think is interesting, because that really eliminates a lot of ways Daenerys is going to be able to learn this information. Because even Jon Con doesn't think he's a Blackfire. He thinks he's a Targaryen. That's one of the main reasons why he goes with them, because he's Rhaegar's son. So when you look at all the information, I think a lot of it boils down to Illyrio, right? He's still in Essos. He's still someone Daenerys can kind of maybe get in contact with. And Daenerys at this point may kind of view Illyrio as someone that could be an ally to her because of her younger years, even though she has, come up with some mistrust for him. But Tyrion, again, he's been there. He would know the mistrust as well, but he knows kind of the value that having someone like Illyrio would be at this point. So I think that is where that whole plot could happen. Maybe George doesn't even really go that route, where if he is a Blackfire, maybe George doesn't even really reveal it and make that a big point of contention. Maybe it's just one of those things where Aegon, with all this confidence and stuff, starts getting kind of like just not a good outlook, and he starts being just kind of full of himself. And then Daenerys just doesn't like Aegon, and maybe that's what happens. And then we find out maybe later through Varys or Illyrio that he's actually a Blackfire. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think on all that stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.